welcome back to Black Swan Outdoors. Today we are going to talk about making a dipole antenna for satellite transmissions. Now, why would you need satellite transmissions? There's a lot of fun things you can do with amateur radio, in particular, to get satellite communications. But one of the most helpful things individuals can do for satellite communications is to get satellite weather imagery. And that satellite imagery is going to be able to tell you a lot about what's going on in the environment that you're in. It's also going to give you the capability of your adversary's ISR capability, or their surveillance capability from up above. If it's cloudy, clouds are coming in, if they can't see, you're going to be in a good operational environment. So there may be a situation in which you would want to get a satellite image. Plus, this is just kind of fun to do. So what do you need for this? Well, in the previous video on dipoles, we talked about how to build a dipole from a rigid self-standing piece of wire. This is really just an adaptation of this. The trick for this, to capture the satellite imagery, is you want a wire that is absolutely straight as possible. So you don't want something that's super bent up. You want something that's relatively straight. You need to have it cut for frequency. But most importantly, or just as important, you need to have this antenna running at 120 degrees, so from the apex. And it needs to remain that. So to make this possible, make this antenna possible, you need to find or build a platform of some kind to hold that antenna steady, so that it stays at the appropriate angle. So you could use a plastic cutting board. This is just a piece of plastic board called Polymax, used for agricultural stuff. Many different applications for it, and I use it for a lot of my antennas. So it's super handy to have. But yeah, like I said, you can use wood. You could use a piece of rigid tile, even maybe. You could use a plank. There's many different applications. Just something rigid and stiff. And then what you're going to do is you're going to zip tie the wire antenna to that board. So I just put 2 zip ties in there. And that is going to then hold that wire at the appropriate angle, hold that in place. I'm going to take the other side, because again, this is a dipole. And then simply just connect the split post connector here from our field antenna kit directly to the base of this antenna. And so if it works as a dipole, it's going to be able to work to receive other radio communications. You'll also be able to receive satellite communications as well. The trick, though, is, like I said, you want to make sure that you keep the wire at the appropriate angle and that the wire stays as straight as possible to get the best reception. And then you can just set this to your program of choice to download your satellite imagery. You can clamp this then right to a piece of wood, a deck, a window, whatever you need. I included on the back end of here just a piece of angle iron bolted on. And then that way I can attach it to PVC pipe with a hose clamp, and then put that right on my antenna, my painter pole antenna, or any antenna posts that I need. You want this then pointing in this direction with the ears out, generally towards the south. Get going to give you the best reception, although the satellites are going to be going over above. You may be able to get an image from a satellite not directly south as well. So it's just going to be a better application if you have that pointed south. look to see where all the other satellite, like satellite television and satellite internet dishes are facing, and face this antenna in the same direction, and you'll be able to get a signal. This is in an urban area. So hopefully you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. Add some comments if you've ever downloaded satellite imagery from the internet.